Hey everybody, welcome back. In the first video we talked about arithmetic operators. So we talked about your add, plus, subtract, multiply. In the second video we talked about how we can assign a number or a value into a variable. So our assignment operators. This time we're going to talk about comparison operators, or how you compare two values. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put some variables up here, and I'm gonna actually make some different types this time. I'm gonna make a string. I'm gonna call this my string. C is equal to 10 and D is equal to 10.000. E is equal to, I don't know, negative. Let's call it equal to true. Yeah, true. Okay. Now, in a comparison operator is going to take two values, and it's actually going to give you an answer of true or false. So, for example, I can use the ones that you probably have seen in math class, at least I hope you've seen them before, and I can say, is A less than 6? Well, in this case, we should predict that the answer would be true, because A is 5 and is less than 6. So if I do it, it's true. If I switch this around, of course, I'm going to get false. And then if I change this a little bit to this greater than or equal to, so is A greater than 5? Well, that's not greater than 5, but it is equal to 5, so I should get a true. And of course, if I change this to 9, I would get a false. And then I could switch this around so it's less than or equal to 9, and I would get a true. So this is just your basic greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than or equal to statements. So nothing too crazy about these. You can do other things, like I can say, is A less than the string B? And if I try to do this, you're going to get an error. It's going to say unorderable types or type error. So we've talked about what a type is. A type is a string, an int, a float, something like that. And this is saying it makes no sense for me to compare A and B, because A is a number and B is a string. So you're going to get an error if you try to compare those. If I use the floating point number, which is here, that's okay, works just fine. If I throw in a string, or sorry, a Boolean variable E, I can still compare it. So why can I compare E to A? If E is true and A is 5. Well, if you remember, E true is also equal to what number? If I print out the value for true, remember I converted it to an integer. If I do print int E, if I try to convert it to an integer, I'll get a 1. So in fact, true, at least in Python, it sees true as a 1. So if I say is A less than or equal to E, I get a false, because A is 5 and E is seen as 1. Alright? So you can actually compare Boolean values in the same way, but you have to remember that a Boolean value is either going to be 0 or 1, as in 0 is false, true is 1. Alright, so that's kind of interesting that you can compare those. The other operators that we want to look at are the equality operator. So equality is this. Now, I see a lot of beginner programmers make this mistake. They'll either use a single equal when they mean a double equal, more often than a double equal, trying to make it a single equal. But for example, somebody might be thinking they're comparing two numbers. They're going to write is A less than 10, and they write is A equal to 10. So they write A is equal to 10, like this. And this is not valid. This is not an equality statement. It's going to say, wait, I can't put 10 inside A and try to print it. But if I use a double equal, it'll print false, because A is 5 and I'm rating 10. So A is not equal to 10. 5 is not equal to 10. So an equality operator is a double equal sign. It checks if two things are equal. A single statement or a single equal sign is an assignment operator. So please try to remember those, and if you're getting an error on something like that, that's your mistake. Other times though, when you're doing it, you can actually get a program that will run, but because of you mixing up the equality and the assignment operator, you can actually get some pretty weird output. Okay, so just be careful when you're using those, and you shouldn't have any problems. The other thing then, if you have an equality operator, you also have an inequality operator. So is A not equal to 10? Well, yeah, A is 5 and that's 10. A is 5 is not equal to 10. If you run this, you're going to get a true statement. Okay, so those are the operators here. I'm going to go ahead and put a comment and rewrite those out. You've got the less than, the greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equality operator, and the inequality operator. So those are the primary ones. You're going to use those probably a lot, especially when we get to if statements and looping and different things later on. These will all become really important. Okay, so get an understanding of these, especially try to remember the difference between a single equal sign and a double equal sign. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.